Alright, hey, it's Mick here. So I'm shooting another Honda Super Cub video. This is probably going to be the last modification I do to the bike. This is before I say, hey, it's fully operational for DoorDash. Okay, so I highly suggest that you always, whenever you ride your bike, you bring a pump with you and something to fix your tire. Okay, so if you have a tube tires, you need to bring something like, tire spoons and another tube, or bring some slime with you, something to fix your tire in an emergency. Okay, so I wanted to make a 12-volt hookup for the Honda Super Cub. Okay, so right here I got a slime pump. Okay, one of those small, very compact slime pumps, and it's big enough, it's small enough where I can just carry it in my trunk. Okay, so I got my little trunk here. Okay, if you can get a small enough one, maybe you might be able to fit it in a little compartment that's on the side of the bike, but I'm planning to put this in the trunk. Okay, so that's one of the reasons I installed this trunk, so I could bring some emergency supplies with me if I needed to. Okay, now I could probably just bring like a bicycle pump, I guess, like one of those teeny tiny little ones, but like, yeah, I don't want to be pumping my bike like a peasant. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna make a 12-volt hookup so I can use an electric pump like this. Okay, and also for another thing you could use it for is jumping the bike. All right, so there's a few things you could do with the 12-volt hookup. All right, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to make, and then yeah, you can decide if you want to make something like this for your bike. Okay, so and this isn't the first bike that I've done it on. Okay, but yeah, it gives me the ability to run 12-volt devices like a pump. Okay, and it lets me jump the bike if I needed to, and it also it allows me to charge the battery that's on the bike too. Okay, and also run other 12-volt accessories other than a pump. I don't know what else. Maybe like a USB charger or something. Okay, so so this is a slime pump kit that I got off of my Impulse TT. Rest in peace its soul, Impulse TT. All right, I had to sell it back to Polaris, and then I wound up buying the Super Cub after. And then yeah, so this is like a portable slime pump that plugs into a 12-volt outlet. So I'm going to modify this so it connects to an EC3 plug. Okay, because it's more compact. I don't want to have one of those ugly, cigarette light adapter dealies on this bike. Okay, so so I'm going to modify this so it works with the EC3 connector, and it should work with the ones on my other bikes. I'll show you. I will give you an example of what we're going to be making before I start making one for this guy. Okay. Also, another thing is, what comes on this is another thing that I put in this is some patch plugs. Okay, or plugs. All right, tire plugs. I've put a tire plug kit in here. Okay, so right in here, it's one of those combination. It reams and it installs the plug at the same time. Okay, so if you guys don't know, the Honda Super Cub C125, it comes with tubeless tires, so you can plug your tire if you get a puncture. All right, all you got to. Another thing you should probably bring with you is a little pair of pliers. Okay, bring a little pair of pliers, so if you do get a nail or screw or whatever, you can pull that plug out. All right, or bring some tools. Like if you get a screwdriver that gets in there, you can unscrew it. If it's not too bad. All right, you don't have to just pull it right out. But yeah, definitely. Also, another thing you might want to bring is some kind of cutter tool or a knife. Okay, some kind of knife tool so you can cut the plug. Okay, I don't have one of those. What I could do is I could put a razor blade in here, and it works pretty good. Okay, because the Harbor Freight ones come with a razor blade. All right, but this is all slime stuff. Okay, so you can buy this at your local auto parts store for, I don't know, probably around 20 bucks. Pretty cheap insurance. All right, and then you can fix your tire while you're on the road. The beauty of plugging your tires is you can do it while it's on the bike. Okay, you don't have to take the top wheel off. You don't have to take the tire off and like replace the tube or patch it. You can do it on the spot. All right, and I have ridden many miles with plugs in my tire, and it's perfectly fine. It kind of depends where it is and how good a job you do installing it. Okay, but yeah, I've used this plug in the Impulse, and it worked fine. And the Impulse is pretty quick bike is what I'm going to say. Okay, so we're going to make something so you can operate this device on the Super Cub. All right, We can pump other people's tires. All right. So I'm gonna give you an example of what we're gonna make for the Super Cub, and then we're gonna go and make it. All right. All right. Here's what we got. I'm probably gonna modify 2 pumps. The reason being is this cigarette light adapter in here. I don't like it. It's kind of too big. All right. It takes up a lot of space. I would just rather have an EC3 connector. They're really small and they can handle a lot of power. Okay. This is rated to handle 15 amps, I guess, but I think an EC3 can handle much more. So we're gonna wind up cutting this cigarette adapter out. Okay. But the good thing is, like, most cars have cigarette lighter adapters, so that's one thing you could do, is you could install a 12-volt receptacle, but I kind of want to try something else. All right, here's what we got. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we're going to be making. I got it installed on my KLR 650 here. So the battery is on the side here. All right, squeeze in here. Okay, so right here is a direct connection to the battery, all right? And it's using an EC3 connector. It's a nice little small connector, really compact, and I made a little plug for it, so we'll be making no, I don't think we're going to make a plug for it, because we're going to hide it under the seat. That's what we're going to do. Let me get it. Okay, so we're going to build something exactly like this. So this connects straight to the battery. If I wanted to jump the bike or charge the bike's battery, I could just plug that into my charger or like a jumper pack. What I use is a 3S LiPo battery. That's what I use to jump my vehicles with, okay? If it needs a little bit of juice. Pretty powerful little battery in a small package, okay? And it's very inexpensive. So yeah, so there it is. So we're going to be installing which one is this one? This is the female side. The female side with the male plugs on it, okay? So that's exactly what we're going to make right there. Now you could use a XT60 connector if you wanted to. XT60s are kind of like more common nowadays. All right, but I went with the EC3, so that's what I got to stick with. And I've also made this little cover with it, with a little lanyard to keep it from coming off. But we're not going to use this on the Super Cub because we're going to hide it under the seat, okay? It's always good to have, but this bike has like so many 12-volt hookups on it. It's funny. All right, so how are we going to do this, Hades and Mega? Well, glad you asked. All right, so we're going to go open the seat here. I got the key in my hand. This little button here should unlock it. All right, so the battery for the bike is right here, okay? It's pretty easy to get to. And what I'm going to do is we're going to make one of those guys, and we're going to fish it down and connect it to the battery. And then I'm going to use one of the helmet loops to hold it, okay, hold it in place. And then you could just plug it in there whenever you need to use it, okay? You're probably not going to be able to use it while you're riding. I guess you could make something so you can use it, but I don't see any reason to really use it while you're riding, okay? So I got like a USB hookup right there, okay? So yeah, it's gonna go up through the battery and up here, okay? So to do this, we need to go open the battery compartment, and I will show you how to do that. It's really quite simple. So see this frontal area here? There's a flathead screwdriver, or a flathead screw that you use a flathead screwdriver to remove. Just unscrew that. Okay. Okay, so that's what comes out. Don't lose it. All right. Okay, then I believe you can just press forward on this, and it should just open. Okay. There you go. So just kind of pry it open. If you're having trouble, you can probably use one of those plastic pry tools. You could probably use a screwdriver, but you might end up marring it, okay? And then just kind of pull up on it. Okay, and it comes right out. All right, when you want to put it back, just do the opposite, okay? Just put it in like that, and then just press it forward, and it should snap into place. I hate how much plastic the Super Cub has, man. It's so annoying. All right, so that's the cover right there. Pretty cool. Okay, and then right in here is your battery, all right? So let's go take a look at that area. Okay, I got my headlight on so you guys can see a little better. So right here is your positive terminal, and right here is your negative terminal. So you're gonna have to take like a plastic cover thing out so you can access the battery, okay? So I think it's right here. If you peel this out, you can see the positive terminal right there, okay? We can have access to it, but we need to access
to the actual bolts that hold it, so we can make our little connector. And it's actually really easy and actually in a pretty convenient area. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, so it's a 5.5. It's a 5 millimeter. That's what it is. Okay. Just loosen our bolt. I think everything should come out after that. Okay. Freedom! So, let's get these out of the way. It's a little neater. It's pretty annoying how they have this, man. But there's the bolt right there. Okay. Put that someplace safe. Let me go take a look at this. This guy doesn't really know what he's doing. Okay, so this is where we're working here. All right. I just kind of moved some of these wires out of the way. This plastic cover is a pain in the ass, man. I hate this thing, dude. But anyway, yeah, I found this interesting thing here. There's a 7.5 amp fuse here. I don't know what this is for, but try to remember to put it back, okay? So there's your positive terminal connection and your negative terminal connection. Okay, those are the ones that we're going to need. All right, so it helps that you kind of loosen the cover. You don't have to remove it. All right, and so what we're going to do is when I install it, I'm just going to slip it in there. Okay, yeah, I'm probably just going to slip it right in there, and then we're going to move it. It would be nice if we could move it, slip it in behind the battery. That's what I want to say. Yeah, it's not, man, it's very not convenient to work with. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. But yeah, so I'm gonna be using some open-ended connectors so we can just kind of just stick it in there, loosen it and stick it in there and tighten it, okay? And then we'll probably move it up between these two thingamajiggers here, and it's gonna go up. I think I want to go up this way. So the wire is gonna go here, up here, and then it's gonna go through the seat right here, okay? And then we're gonna clip it on the helmet clips, okay? All right, so we kind of got an idea where we're working. So let's go do it. Let's see, there's a bunch of connectors that aren't connected to anything here. What's up with that? So this one was, I think this one is in here. So just remember where all this stuff goes. They sure jam-packed a lot of stuff in there, right? So this is what some of the tools for success here, okay? So I've got here some Turnigy, what is this? Turnigy 12 gauge wire. I think that should be perfectly fine to use as a jumper cord or, you know, to power 12 volt stuff. It's pretty good wire. And then I've got some EC3 connectors here. A big pack of them. I should probably stock up on them. Oh well, yeah, I'm kind of running low. All right, so I'm gonna go grab what I need. So there's an EC3 connector right there. It says EC3 on it. Pretty simple to tell which one is which. There's a positive and negative right there. Okay, the red wire goes to the positive. Negative goes to the black wire, okay? And then I've got two male connectors right here, okay? So that's gonna go in there. I'll show you how I'm gonna solder that. It's a little tricky. Okay, and then we're gonna go measure out how much wire we need to use, okay? Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna open the seat cover right here, okay? And then we're gonna figure out how much red we're gonna need, okay? So actually I'm gonna work it backwards, all right? So we're gonna go from here, all right? I'm gonna run the wire down here. Try to get it out here. Okay, I've got the wire right there. All right, and I want it to be like right around here-ish. It might be good to have an extra inch of wire just in case. You can always hide extra wire back here, okay? It seems like there's a lot of space here. I think this is the gas tank or something. Okay. All right, and this is gonna just go right into here, okay? So that seems pretty good. Now we'll give it like an extra inch, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna cut it like right there. I feel that's pretty close to how we want it. I'm gonna go cut that. Okay, if we need more, if we need less, we'll cut more, okay? So, but that'll be our first cut right there. Alright, that's our positive wire. we'll go grab the negative wire, one of the black wires. All right, and like I said, we're gonna work it backwards. Okay, so where I'm working it from is like right here, okay? So I want this wire to sit inside here, okay? That's the goal. All right, so we can fish it through here. Okay, and then we should see it pop out somewhere on the other side. Right here. Okay, a little too much. I want to get it underneath this plastic here because it'll get pinched by the cover when we put it on. Okay, so I've made a kind of trial run here. Okay, so this is kind of where it's going to be. The good thing is, yeah, so you want to kind of steer clear of this right here. All right, because this is the little bumper that holds the seat up. Okay. We're going to probably do is just probably, yeah, just put, probably the connector will be like right here is what I'm going to say. Okay. And then that way it won't interfere with this. Okay, because if you put it here, it's going to crush it. You know, you don't want that. Okay. Or we can have it rest like right here. Okay, because there is supposed to be something in there. Okay, that this is where you're supposed to put the helmet loop when you put your helmet on there. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of how I want it. All right, so this is the negative right here. It's going to go to the negative terminal right here, and then there's the positive right here. Okay, and any extra we can just tuck into this little thing right here underneath the gas tank. There's kind of like a little cavity. Okay, and I've got like about an extra like 2 inches here. Okay. All right, looks good. So we're gonna install some open-ended ring terminals right here, and then we're gonna install the EC3 connector right here. Okay. All right. Here's we go. Let's do it. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is strip the ends so we can put them in the connectors, the pins. Okay. So maybe right around there. Okay, I got my soldering iron on, warming up. So the way I like to do these is I tin the pin and the wire, and then what I do is I melt the solder. I melt the solder by heating up the pin, okay, enough to where it boils, okay. So what I'm going to do is tin the pins. And be careful not to get any on the outside. Another one. Already done. Alright, so I guess what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a grinder and then grind the other one. But I'm going to use a grinder and just grind off all the excess. If you have too much stuff on the pin, it's not gonna go into the connector. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is install these into the connectors. All right, so there's the negatives right here. Okay, so I'm going to put the black wire into that one. Okay, and what I like to do is kind of just get like a punch or something and press it in. Just get a little hammer. Okay, so what that does is it presses the pin and it locks it in. Hope you did the right one. Okay, same thing with this. Okay, just give them a good tug to make sure it works. Alright, and then now we gotta terminate these ends with ring terminals. Alright, we'll go get some. Okay, so these are the terminals that I'm gonna be using right here. They're these open-ended ring terminals, okay? That way you can just slip it into the battery, okay? Maybe what we can do is twist them sideways. Yeah, that's what we could do, twist them like upwards, so that way we could just scoop it into the battery. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out when we get there. Alright, so I'm gonna add some shrink tubing to it. Okay, there we go. There's our little harness, ready to go. I hope I put the pins in right. One of them was like kind of crooked, so, so we'll find out if let me see if I get something to plug into it. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and install this. I'm gonna fish these wires down into here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this plastic cover off, man. It's just getting in the way, man. It's making it a real pain in the booty. All right. So. Okay, there it is. I got it in there. Okay, so this is how I got it in there. So I disconnected the positive terminal, and this whole plastic thing comes out. And there's a fuse thing in here too, man. It really, Honda, you could have done a better job of like cramming this stuff in here. You could have just like, why couldn't they just open this panel and put the battery in there, you know? I don't know, man. I don't really know what it looks like under all this plastic, but why not just put the battery under here? It would be easier to work with, okay? There's just not a lot of room to work with in there, okay, guys? So there's this plastic bracket thing here, okay, that goes over it. And really what holds it down is the positive terminal, okay? The positive terminal has to go over this plastic thing, okay? And then you got this protector thing here. So mine has this 7.5 amp fuse. I don't know if this is if this is a stock Honda thing or not. I'm not sure. Maybe it is. Okay, and then there's a bunch of other stuff connected here. So you gotta put all this stuff back. Let's put it all back here right now. Okay, so put all the, I don't really know what all this stuff is. Some kind of jumper wire. It's probably vital for the bike's operation, so put it back. Okay, so that's pretty clean right there. I've got the positive wire going around here, and like I said, I kind of shoehorned it in there. Okay, I bent the pin like this, okay, and then I just stuck it in there. Okay, kind of like that. It's really difficult. I think it would, for the positive one, you should use a real ring terminal. That way you could stick it underneath, like this one is. This is a ring terminal, and it's stuck underneath the thing. This one is actually under the screw, so you want it actually under this guy, okay, the connector. All right, so that should be it. This one, yeah, like I said, I disconnected this so you can pull this out, and then I slipped it in underneath the terminal, okay? So you can kind of, if I pull it out a little bit, you can probably see it. You see, there it is, and then it's like it's connected back there, so don't worry. All right, and I just hide that in there. Hide this in here. I don't really know what this is doing here. There's not a lot of room for all this stuff, man. This is where it was before. Yes, I'm just gonna try to get it in there somehow. I don't know what this is, but I don't think this is stock, man. I just kind of just shoved it in there, okay? So it's like hiding back there. Now, put this in here. And then what I want to do is move this under here. Okay, and then, so it goes up under here, under the seat, and then right here, okay? So let's do a little test to close it to see if it gets caught anywhere. Yeah, so you want to make sure that this bumper doesn't hit this, okay? So just make sure it's like all the way out here. Okay. And you shouldn't have any problems. Okay, it closes just fine. Let's see what it looks like when it's closed. Okay, you can't even tell it's there. Pretty awesome. It just kind of just goes up here. All right, it doesn't get any way in any of the hinge. It doesn't block the hinge or anything. It's perfect, okay? And this is just gonna hang out like right here, okay? Yeah. I can make this a little tighter. That's okay. As long as it doesn't go here, it's fine. Okay, let's close it. This thing is always a pain in the ass to close. Yep, there we go. Okay, should be good. All right, so now what we want to do is let's put the cover back on. Okay, let's put this back on. So I found out there's actually 2 of these screws. I think somebody has been in there before. Okay, I'm 100% sure somebody's already been in there. All right, the previous owner was in there already, and they didn't put this bolt back in. Okay, it's missing one. Right, there's one up here, and then there's one down here. Okay, it's kind of hard to see, but I don't know what this is. So. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that bolt back in. Okay, I went ahead and put that bolt back in. It's right there. All right, now we're going to put the cover back on. This cover back on. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Okay, let's put this cover back on. Once again, I hate how Super Cub has all this plastic in it. Okay, we're gonna put the screw back in. Oh, you know what? What's interesting? If you disconnect the battery, this probably the seat probably won't open anymore because the seat is electronic. the thing for the thing is electronic. That's interesting. Okay, so anyway, since we disconnected the battery, you probably want to see if the bike will fire up. All right, I think I got the key right there. Okay. All right, there we go. Is it really 3 o'clock? I don't think so. I think I got to change the time. The time might be off. But it looks like it works. I would fire it up if I were you. Okay, bike looks fine. All right, so one thing we can do to check to see, we can check the voltage, okay? Okay, we're gonna go check the voltage real quick. So make sure you connect this to the black and the other one to the red, and it should be positive. All right, 12.6 volts. Perfect. All right, that's what we want. So now we got our little auxiliary plug up here, okay? Cool, works.